I started learning how to deal with concussions. I would take a ton of aspirins before the game even started. I don't know if that would help me. I would put smelling salts in my socks, in my pants. So I already had the smelling salts out there.
I remember asking someone, you know, I understand the Bears are going to practice. Hey, they're right down the road at Ferry Hall. And you're going, excuse me, I'm looking for the Chicago Bears. They go, no, that's where they're at. An abandoned girls prep school. That was, you know, you talk about facilities and what a difference that was.
You just think about what the NFL you thought it was, and then all of a sudden you're there, and you're just so disappointed.
We used to practice on a public park, right? One of our fields was a public park.
The public park.
And, yeah, people would just be, you know, walking their dogs. It doesn't get any better than this.
That was tough. That was those were good years though, because it always put things in perspective. And so I was very fortunate. I got there. Jack Pardee was his first year. And I found out real quickly. I did some investigation on Jack. Jack was a tough guy. He beat cancer when he played. Yeah. And I knew that he just liked tough guys and people that like to hit people. And so I kept thinking, okay, I've been on special teams for 4 years, 3 years at Ohio State, and I was really good on a kickoff team. And you're running full speed down there, and you're not really trying to tackle anybody. You're just trying to blow people up. Yeah. And so when I had my opportunity, somewhere around the second or third week in camp that year, Gary Lyle gets an injury. And they asked in practice, hey, any of you guys play free safety? Because they didn't really draft a free safety. Gary, I never played free safety. I signed and go, I did it.
So you were playing strong safety?
I was playing strong safety.
Oh.
And I remember being over there at the strong safety, and Leonard Waterscheid would play free safety. Wow, this is a different world.
Yeah.
I mean, now all of a sudden, you're guarding tight ends on pass plays. You're in the middle.
And that guard pulling wasn't it?
The guard pulling. Oh, man. I learned that when Buddy, you know, introduced the 46 defense, and then all of a sudden, you're a linebacker and you have to take on pulling guards. And I remember one time in Green Bay, I got hit by a pulling guard. Gary, I thought I was electrocuted. And they gave the ball to the running back, and he ran right by me. And I'm trying to go like this. I couldn't turn my body. I mean, that is when I thought, you know what? This is the beginning of the end. There's little telltale signs like that let you know your body is screaming and saying, get me off the field. I can't take this anymore. And I don't want to say this is about making business decisions and all those sort of things, but, you know, let's face it. How many players have gone through the NFL all the way through the end of their life? None, zero, none of them. So there's a long period of time once your career is over that you're going to have to be a regular human being. You're going to have a job. You're going to have to go out there and get a paycheck and buy a car and live in a house and do all those sort of things. And the NFL can certainly help you, but at the same time, you know, when you're going through and damaging your body, you're thinking, okay, what am I going to have left?
When I see guys like, was it Robert Smith, the running back from Minnesota, where he just said, I've had enough. You know what? I really could, I could understand that, you know, and people go, oh, you're making all this money and all that. When you find out there's a time where it comes where you go, it's like an on-off switch. I think I've switched off and I can't go back on. But, you know, Doug, we played a different style, but it was a different era. But, you know, looking at what's happened to Dave Duerson and some other athletes that we know, would you do it again?
You know, I think about it because, you know, now we all know what the consequences are. And, you know, so you start thinking about the repercussions of it. And, you know, concussions for me went way back. I think the first concussion I remember was in junior high. And
really?
It was, I just had a severe headache. It wasn't anything visual, but it was a severe headache after.
From football?
From football. So for me, you know, in terms of the risk, you know, we certainly didn't know anything about what they do today. I know what it felt like. I could, but you know, the crazy thing is, I started learning how to deal with concussions. I would take a ton of aspirins before the game even started. I don't know if that would help me. I would put smelling salts in my socks, in my pants. So I already had the smelling salts out there. And the other thing is, okay, you're not playing it at 100%, but maybe you're ratcheting it down to 70% or 60%, and you're staying deep. I was the free safety, so I'm the deepest guy in the defense, and you can run around for a couple quarters, kind of get your senses back.
And I know nobody wants to go to the sideline because you don't want your backup, who might be 4 years younger than you and making half what you're making, getting that opportunity. That's what I got. I got an opportunity because you got injured, right?
Yep.
You don't want anybody to ever do that. But the question about whether you do it again, I don't have any problems right now. But it doesn't mean that what if 5 years, 10 years, 2 years, you go, oh, you're starting to have problems. You're going to blame it only on football? I don't know.
I think you and I know too many guys too that certainly some people have suffered some consequences as a result of concussions. I do say this, I think we're all different. Each of us can sustain concussions, separated joints, other things. And others, I read these articles about these young kids that play football like one game or 1 year, and all of a sudden they have this spatial disorientation after getting one concussion. They just can't recover. They can't get their balance back. I mean, it's a horrific story. I do think, parents wanting their children to be mimicking tackle football at the ages of 8, 9, 10, way too soon.
Yeah.
I know it happened in my family. No one really understood or knew what the consequences were, but I would have a really hard time sending my 8, 9, 10-year-old son out there playing tackle football, repetitively getting hit in the head.
The NFL could have such a great role in being a leader on this issue, and instead it's the head in the sand.
I mean, I don't think anybody wants to see, cutbacks in terms of NFL rules and regulations and stuff like that. But a few changes in football, I think, make it more entertaining, make it more fan-friendly.
Hopefully, people, parents, coaches, if you are playing sports at a younger age, that they're a lot more diligent on really monitoring and not trying to be macho and say, hey, you got to tough this out. Really saying, hey, look, hopefully we have better tools to be able to address that and make it easier for people to say, a simple test, hey, I'm looking at your eyes, or, they're going to have sensors in the helmets. They will create better awareness, I hope, for any type of concussion. Maybe there's a, pounds per square inch. If you get a blow over whatever, you got to come out regardless.
I don't know how many guys are out there like you and I that could play together that long and that many tackles and hits and things like that.
Let's do it this way, Doug. If either one of us gets CTE, there's not going to go,
no,
really?
You're right.
Really? Oh, what a shock. I mean, they're not. But I do know that, at the Bears alumni dinner where people used to talk about, hey, I hear you, I remember seeing you. I never knew that you could even get an artificial shoulder. Oh yeah, I got 2 of them. But now nobody talks about those. It's like, hey, how many concussions do you remember getting? And that's changed the entire dialogue. And I'm sure that players today are thinking about it a lot more. This is almost like, why do you wear a seatbelt in a car? Well, there are precautions that you can take to hopefully increase the chance of not having something like this happen. One thing that I did a couple of years ago was I donated my brain to the Concussion Legacy Foundation. It was a pretty easy decision, to be honest with you, for a couple of reasons. One, I plan on getting cremated, so what else am I going to do with the brain? But two, I think more importantly, you hear of all these stories of all the NFL players, 99% of them have some problems. Well, I don't think everybody who has played in the NFL comes up screwed up. And so I'm happy to hopefully be a positive for someone who did play for 12 years. Hopefully I don't have any problems before I pass away. And really hope that will lead to better research and hopefully some solutions that we've been talking about.
Gary, I saw that story and it moved me, it motivated me. I almost had tears in my eyes when I read it. I'm going down the same route. I will be ashes and toast at the end of my life. And the Concussion Legacy Foundation, I think they do so many good things. And I think what really motivated me the last couple years is having fellow teammates that I know are being affected
Yeah.
by this disease, and it's so compelling afterwards. You know, these were your teammates and your friends and people that you came to work with and drove together, and
Right.
all of a sudden you could tell that they're just struggling right now, and you just feel like, I want to do something. And I feel like this is the best thing that anybody could possibly do, especially players like yourself and myself that have suffered injuries, a lot of head trauma, things like that. I just think that, you know, this could possibly, you know, set the example for even other players behind us to be able and willing to do the same thing.